All right, we're going to go ahead and get a look at equivalent expressions. So there's multiple ways you could do this. You could do this via Desmos. You could do this by hand. The way we've learned in EOC is to do it via Desmos. So go ahead and do it that way. And then I'm going to work out how to solve everything by hand, which is what we've been doing in math models. So on example 1, it says, which expression is equivalent? That means they are the same to 2x squared plus 4x minus 6x squared plus 9 minus 6x plus 3. So the first thing I need to do to this is solve. So just go ahead and solve, or another word that I'm going to be doing is simplify. Solve or simplify. All right, so this 2x squared is good. This 4x plus, or 4x minus 6x squared is good. This plus 9 is good. However, what I want to pay attention to right now is this area right here. I need to go ahead and distribute this -1 to what's inside of the parentheses. So when I do that, I've got -1 times 6x, I've got -1 times 3. So when I do that, I've got -1 times 6x, that would be -6x. I've got -1 times a +3, that would be a -3. And then I'm going to literally just go and write everything down that's already there. All right, so everything is solved. I don't have to do any more distributing, but what I need to pay attention to now is things that are like terms. So the first thing I'm going to be looking at is x squared. I need to find everybody that has x squared, and I need to make sure I include the sign that is in front of it, whether it be a plus sign or a minus sign. So if I'm looking at that, I've got my 2x squared, and then I've got minus 6x squared. So that's a problem that I'm going to have to do. Let me look at the other ones. I've got 4x, so I'm going to use circles on this one. Plus 4x, and then who else has an x as their last name? This minus 6x is one. All right, so I'll have to solve that. And then I also need to go ahead and look at just the regular numbers. So I'm going to use triangles for that one. That's plus 9, and then minus 9. So I'm going to go ahead and just solve these. So right now, I've got 2x squared minus 6x squared. So 2x squared minus 6x squared. The last name doesn't change. So I need to be just doing 2 minus 6. That would be -4. Last name is x squared. So -4x squared is what I have first. All right. Let's look at my circles, my 4x. I've got 4x minus 6x. Again, last name doesn't change. So just look at 4 minus 6. 4 minus 6 is -2, last name x. My last step is to look at my triangles. So I've got 9 minus 3. What is 9 minus 3? That's 6. I'm going to put plus 6. This would be the equivalent answer. All you had to do was solve it. So I need to be looking at my answer choices. A says -4x squared minus 2x plus 6. Boom. There's my answer choice. All right, that's how you're going to solve it. So now we've got example 2. It says, which expression is equivalent to, that means they are the same, f of x, that's the same thing as y equals 6x squared minus 13x plus 5. So my EOC kids, you know to go and put this in Desmos and then put your answer choices into Desmos as well, and you should be finding the answers that are the same. The parabola would look the same. All right, so let's go ahead and solve this. We've got 6x squared minus 13x plus 5. For my math models kids, we've got to remember, I need to know my A value, my B value, my C value. It's going to be A times C. This one's going to be plus 9. My two numbers in the middle are going to be what I multiply to get the A times C and what I add to get the B. My A value is 6. My B value is -13. My C value is 5. I need to go ahead and do 6 times 5, which is 30. My B value is -13. So I need two numbers that when I multiply them, I get negative, or when I multiply them, I get 30. And then when I add them, I get -13. So we got to sit there for a second and figure out those two numbers. How can I get them? Well, if I think about it, what times what gives me 30? I've got 30 times 1, 6 times 5, 10 times 3. The only ones that would get me 13 are 10 times 3. So I know I'm going to be using a 10. I know I'm going to be using a 3. But now I need to get a negative 13. So now I really need to think about this. But I need a positive 30. That means the negative 10. And then I need to have a negative 3. Because negative 10 plus negative 3 would give me negative 13. These are the numbers I'm going to use in my problem. So remember, x minus 10 and x minus 3. Something that you're going to forget, but you've got to remember is divide by a. A equals 6. We've got to make sure that we go and divide by a. All right, so when we divide by a, we need to realize that a is 6 on this problem. So this becomes x minus 10 over 6. This one becomes x minus 3 over 6. I need to remember to do alpha y equals and put in these fractions. So I need to do alpha y equals 10 over 3. Alpha y equals, I have 10, not over 3, 10 over 6. And that becomes x minus 5 over 3. When I do alpha y equals 3 over 6, I'm going to get x and 1 over 2. I need to remember the last step is I don't like fractions, so I need to move these to the front. And that becomes 3x minus 5 and 2x minus 1. This is my answer choice that I need to be looking for. And when I look, I see that it would be B. All right, you're going to need to try example 3 on your own. I'll start you off though. I know my A, my B, and my C. My A value is 25. My B value, since I don't have a number followed by an X, my B value is going to be 0. And then my C value is going to be negative 9. So I need to go through the entire process again. A times C. The bottom is plus B. And you need to remember that you need to divide by A before you go anywhere else. Divide by A. A is 25. And we need to be using alpha y equals. So good luck on this problem.